I come flexing with style and mad skills, like my name was Eternal Dragons, gameplay and builds. So come get your fill, cause you paying the bill.
Channing Potatum. Hey, welcome back. We've got a brand new build today. It's Maximum Boopage. It's built off of the Warp Slap idea, but so much more sustainable. So before you check out this thing, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And this thing is good for Chaos 100 all the way up to the tippy top, friends. It might just be the most forgiving build we've ever made on the channel. You can screw up as bad as you want with a boss, and you can come on back from it. So
everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I never let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way to even when I'm feeling down, I fight. Even when I don't know what is right, I'ma pick a side and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shake me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold.
So that was pretty awesome. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's go through the build here. Starting off, we of course have a live wire to hold in your hand. We've got an ascended live wire here with 311 damage. It's the best, strongest one that I can find. We have this one enchanted with on spellcast, elemental damage increased by 20% for 5 seconds. With the way that we've got this set up, that can be basically triggered at all times with our big spell that we are going to be using. Our big, awesome, huge damage. Look at that, triple spell damage. Even though it's primordial, 521 damage on this thing. Empowering Sigil. So this is, of course, the best weapon to hold when you're doing melee in the game. If you don't know that about this particular weapon, it chains your melee damage through lightning to enemies all around you. And that's super useful for when you're doing a melee build, so that you can be doing a lot more damage instead of just damaging the one enemy at a time. This is our big buff gun, the Tootherator of the Murky Depths. You get this thing from doing the Cash for Teeth quest over in the Weep Wild. And this thing is super duper worth picking up. You can see at the bottom there, target takes increased melee damage 5% for each tooth stuck in it, and you fire 9 teeth per shot. So this thing is super duper worth picking up. If you've never actually used this thing before for a debuff weapon, Boom, look at that. Look how many teeth it sticks into something. Each of those increasing your melee damage. So you fire a few times, and your melee damage is absolutely through the roof on anything you want to fight. Now, we don't have it enchanted because we're not really going to be attacking with this thing out. It's just for debuffing. And the next 2 slots, these are just for anything that you need to do in terms of your trials to get into the raid bosses. Just a couple weapons that you can use for that kind of stuff. Now, our main melee weapon right here, this thing is the Rage Handle. We're going to be using the Lightning one at most times, but we do also have a Frost one on the build if you want to swap over to using a Frost one. Lightning is, however, what we're buffing the most because it kind of works hand in hand with the live wire. And you'll see we have this one with the Hilt Mod Vampire that is very important as we will be returning 10% of our maximum health and maximum ward every time we connect with a melee strike with this weapon. Absolutely fantastic, fills your life and shield up like crazy, keeps you filled right up, and the sustain is fantastic. You can in fact out-sustain purple water when you have this weapon hilt, especially with a weapon this fast. You will see it, you probably did see it in fact during the drill fight. We were able to stand in the purple water and stay alive, and that was because of this hilt mod. Now, the Rage Handle as well, melee attacks increase melee attack speed and melee critical chance by 11.3 for 5 seconds, stacking 15 freaking times. Hitting a boss applies triple the stack, so this thing is just fantastic. It attacks super duper duper fast, and it does a lot of damage, so tons and tons of fun to use, especially hand in hand with these 2 weapons here. For our rings, we have a great melee damage ring here in the Promise Ring when our action skill is ready, which is going to come back almost all the time, so you can have it up or use your action skill whenever. You see we've got, that is the Promise Ring, increasing the effects here of the melee critical hit damage by 33%. And then we have an ability ring also with melee critical hit damage 49% there, and this one health above 50%. That's basically all the time with the silicone ring, so that's also basically always triggered with the increased melee critical hit damage. Now we have for our army. So our armor is the Selective Amnesia here. We've got the +3 Icebreaker armor with the Brrzerker power on top. That's really all that matters on this armor. Other than that, the spell damage does help with our Empowering Sigil, and the movement speed will help with our Stabbo damage skills, but they are not the biggest things about it. It is the fact that this is a Selective Amnesia, so that when you get hit, down there at the bottom, you get the increased damage dealt increased by movement speed, which is again going to couple up with our Stabbomancer skills and help us do a lot more damage. Now, over here in the shield slot, we do have the Spirit Rune. This thing, it kind of seems like it doesn't work with the build, but it does because the increased movement speed bonuses that you can get for the Selective Amnesia, even though if you move with the Amnesia, you can do even more damage. All of those movement speed bonuses will couple into your damage. That's just how it works. And the skill we are talking about is this one over here, Swift Death. So basically, the more movement speed bonuses you have, the better damage you can do here. And of course, if you move more, it does do more damage. But in general, you are doing more damage just for having the movement speed bonuses. So we have this Spirit Rune, so even when you're standing still, you gain 20% increased lightning damage, and ward regeneration is reduced to 0 seconds, just help keeping your ward full at all times. We've also got this one, Brimming, regenerate 5% of your maximum health per second when your ward is full. Hey, yeah, right? And then Vagabond, of course, movement speed is plus 10% when the ward is full as well. So with Vampire filling up your life and your shield constantly, coupled together with this, you can basically always have a full shield. It's pretty awesome. And there are some bonuses for having that. We do also have this one here, when action skill is active, enchanted with elemental damage 35%. And I forgot to mention here, this one has the spell cast ability 30%, and that's going to be really important for some of our skills there, the ability boost, just like there. Now here in the amulet slot, we have a Barbaload, and that is just because these are considered to be crossbolts, so we can ricochet those off to other enemies using the Barbaload. Primarily, we are looking at that lightning damage, Brrzerker power, and all damage on the amulet here. I mean, what else do you want? And then right here, the Empowering Sigil, action skill start, increased damage dealt by 20% for 20 seconds. Now, the way we have these set up, you can have these going pretty much all the time. You trigger this, and then by the time this one is done, you see Sigil went down. It's basically 3, 2, 1. Sigil comes back up again already. And then you'll see over to the skills. Because we have Blood of the Fallen here, we are going to be returning our action skill almost immediately, all the time. All you have to do is get some kills real quick, and boom, 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 action skill comes right on back. Alright, moving on to the rest of the skills, we'll start up here with our action skill. From the shadows, the Fate Maker enters stealth, turning invisible. While in stealth, all damage dealt is automatically a critical hit, but critical hits are at reduced damage. Well, that is okay. We're going to be critting absolutely constantly, and with Icebreaker, we are going to be doing a crazy amount of damage. So, we have the class feat here. You'll see this thing. This is fantastic. Rage of the Ancients when we hit our action skill start, so this will be up almost all the time if you're playing the build right. We get bonus frost damage. And then over here, additional critical hit chance 30% from our class feat here, Dirty Fighting. Now, Ancestral Frost boosting up our frost damage. 5 out of 5 here in Savagery, boosting up our melee damage. The closer you get, the more damage you do. We're a melee-based build the old ways. Yes, please. Damage reduction is also up 40% when you're up close with this. And then 6 out of 3 in Icebreaker. The Fate Maker gains increased damage dealt to enemies that are slowed, and even more to enemies that are fully frozen. 60% more damage against frozen enemies. This is one of the most potent skills in the entire game, and we are just maxing out on this thing. Then going 2 out of 3 with Cold Snap. Down to here, Ancient Fury, 5 out of 5 to increase our area damage so that we can do a lot more damage with our Blast Chills. These things can go off for hundreds of thousands, if not a couple million damage if you hit hard enough. And trust me, you'll notice when these things are going off and completely destroying entire mob groups. Over here, taking Relentless Rage so that when we go down, we can constantly refill our Save Your Soul bar. You're gonna love this thing. It absolutely keeps you alive like crazy. Then going over here to the Stabbomancer side, we went 5 out of 5 in Arsenal to grab that extra melee and spell damage. 3 out of 3 over here in Haste to get our movement speed up and our attack speed up at the same time. We put 2 out of 5 into Potent Poison just for a little bit more status effect chance. But 3 out of 3 over here into Exploit the Weakness, so that whenever we do have a status effect on an enemy, we get another 6% damage increase. And 2 out of 5 into Swift Death, because that's the most that we could put in before we went down. Put 3 into Contagion here, trying to give ourselves a spread chance. And the only reason to take this is actually to increase the damage we can do again with Exploit the Weakness by creating additional types of status effect damage on other types of enemies. So this has been really nerfed over time. It's not a great skill, but what we are using it for is to create types of status effect damage that we are not able to do normally, which will give us, again, another overall 6% damage increase there. Now, taking a look at the hero points here, you see we maxed out at the top, 47 out of 47 strength. That is because we took the Plucky archetype. And then we put some points here, getting ourselves up to 40% crit chance. A few points here into spell cooldown, and then everything else here into Constitution, just to make ourselves really beefy, so that we can stand up to the fact that we are wearing the Amnesia armor. Now, if you decide to change the build a little bit, be careful if you are choosing to spec status damage. It will up the amount of damage that the Amnesia armor does to you, and so if you max this out, you're going to hit yourself really, really hard with the Amnesia armor, so just beware of that. Other than that, over here, we still have Myth rank 1,152, but we've not been spending points for a long time. So, we're about like 263 here at each of the capstones. Alright, friends. Thank you so much for checking out the video and the build. It's been tons of fun putting this thing together. I have not had a Blast Chill build that ever came off well until now, so I'm really enjoying this one. And I hope you guys can enjoy it too. Like I said, it's super duper survivable. You should be able to take on anything in the game with it. And just through perseverance, you'll be able to take down anything at all. It might not be the highest damage we've ever done, but man, you're unstoppable with this thing. So the save file will be over on the Discord. Until the next time, friends, please like, comment, subscribe, and happy gaming.
Flexing with style and mad skills, like my name was Eternal Dragons, gameplay and builds. So come get your fill, cause you paying the bill. The conflict's critical, situation real. I'm a pop, I'm a let it rock, close mark, old school 360 like an Xbox, make it hot. What you got, gonna give me a ride. I'ma watch my watch as I watch you fly. Slowing down my lyrics for a minute.